mannerisms and saying all of these stupid replies, and he kind of like stutter steps next to some stairs, and he fucking falls down the stairs, but you can very faintly see what we think is like a doll on the floor that kind of trips him down the stairs, and
he dies.
He dies, dude. He breaks his neck. And it cuts to like his funeral, and Duke is there with all, you know, the family, and there's a bunch of press, and he's kind of playing the part, fronting, not really into it being there. And two of the black reporters that were there, it's pretty fucked up because it's kind of like them specifically asking Duke, like, hey, what are you going to do about the ghosts there and stuff? And he's like, the only thing about that's spooky about you guys or something like that. He's like,
the only spooks I'm
afraid of are you two spooky reporters or something.
He catches himself before he says some racist
some racist ass shit. So he's kind of like he's starting to believe the mythos of the fucking the dolls. Gets back into his limousine or whatever, and then sees that there's the doll in the actual limousine, and he tells the driver, like, who the fuck did you leave? Who did you let in the car? And coincidentally, the driver's, you know, like, I didn't know. There's nobody that went into the car. Like, what are you talking? Nobody. And he sees that's the doll, and you pointed it out too, like how he said he had stated that the dolls might be worth money.
Like, he searched the property because there was in the mythos that the dolls were hidden on the property somewhere, where he's staying. Right?
Yeah.
And then but when he finds the doll in his car,
he throws it out the window.
In the limo, yeah, he's really scared, and he kind of just chucks it out.
I think it's because he feels like, almost like he's like, yo, I would rather get rid of this shit than kind of like, try to sell it, because he kind of feels like it's real now, you know. So on the way back home, he gets home, right, and he's reviewing the tape of what had happened the couple of weeks before, and he realizes in the tape the doll is there, and he sees him tripping the fucking guy. Mm-hmm. And so that actually, when he realizes that, it kind of like opens up the gateway for him to be tormented at his house, and it awakens all of the little... You can hear like the footsteps of that first doll, remember? And then he finally catches him, beats him up with the fucking stick and shit, because he's not really moving. And you see in the mural painting what it looks like just like a blank space where that doll used to be, right?
Which is like signifying that he's come to life from the mural.
Very Puppet Master. The claymation is amazing for its time. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. It's very creepy as fuck. But he's kind of going crazy. He's throwing all these things at him. He finally traps him outside, and then fucking pins him to a dartboard, right? And takes a double barrel shotgun and blows his fucking little balls off and blows off half of his face. And he thinks he's done, dude. Until
then he when he goes back into his house, he notices now even more dolls are missing from the mural, mm-hmm. and have come to life. But he doesn't see them just yet. Then he sees that the first doll has come back to life.
Yeah.
And he kind of tricks him into going to this other room. He thinks he's evaded the doll and that he's fine. He turns around, and now
there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Uh-huh. And
he's kind of like going nuts, dude. Like, he doesn't really believe. Like, he sees, like, you see his facial expressions, like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
He starts like calling them a bunch of fucking racial slurs, like a lot of them. And he's like shooting everywhere. But then there was this one part where he's like drops his bullets and he's trying to reload, and then it shows the fucking the doll in claymation running towards him, and like it just looks really cool. Like it looks comical, but at the same time it's like, oh shit, it's a little person, dude.
Yeah, like when he's like swinging on the chandelier and stuff,
yeah,
and he, like, jumps off, like all of that. Doing that stuff is like it was probably just as difficult as trying to bring Chucky to life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where we don't see all the wires and all the time that it takes to just do one little sequence, but
for sure,
all that
dude.
time, yeah, you know, all that, everything that we saw to
claymation, stop motion, animation. Yeah, if you know anything about that, it takes hours. You know, probably just for like 2 minutes
to make it look good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he kind of gets discombobulated because he is trying to shoot that. What was he trying to do? Where he falls to the ground, and then there's like a bunch of them, and he's holding the American flag.
I think he just goes,
because he's running out of bullets for sure.
Yeah,
he can't shoot them all. He starts shooting like everywhere.
I think he comes back into the room with the mural, and then he sees that the old lady's image is gone too,
and all of them are gone.
Yeah.
And
he turns around, and then they're just all there.
They're all just kind of staring at him, like probably fucking 30 of them, 40 of them maybe. And he kind of just faints and like saying all this racial shit. And at the same time, he knocks over like whiskey and like the American flag.
He's kind of trying to cover himself with the American flag.
With the American flag, dude. And it's very symbolic. Why, I don't know. There's a bunch of kind of like it looked very comical, but it was still kind of cool where they're like growling at him, and like you hear their voices, but they're very high pitched and real like indistinct, like Aborigine kind of like tribal, where they all just attack him.
And kind of Puppet Master too, where they're like,
yeah, they're very quiet. They whisper. Mm-hmm. They understand each other. Like they work together. And they start eating him, dude. They start biting his face, yep. Ripping out his eyeballs, and fucking yeah, dude. And he's just crying for his life. And then the old lady appears in the rocking chair with the main fucking dude. What was his name? I forget what I don't even know if they give the doll the name.
I don't think he had a name, but he's there in her arms.
Yeah.
And I think that segment ends on that.
Yeah, because he's just like yelling, and then it just shows the doll again, which is pretty cool. I like that one. That one was pretty cool.
And that's why it's called KKK Comeuppance.
Comeuppance, dude. The dollhouse.
Because that one's interesting because it plays with the fact that, you know, white supremacists trying to run for powerful political figures, you know what I mean? And that's something that's, again, happening.
Super relevant.
Right now.
Super, super relevant. And he also played the part of like, I didn't kill your ancestors. It wasn't me. But also you're adding to what's going on now, though, dude. Mm-hmm. So
and he just when the shit hits the fan, you see that he does think the same way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If he was innocent, he wouldn't have been so quick to turn and start saying all this dumb shit.
He says a lot of it, dude. It's kind of overkill, but it's to show. I'm pretty sure Spike Lee told him to use a lot of those fucking phrases, you know. But anyways, it shows the mortician pick up the doll, and then it goes back to the current story, in which they're getting very, very fucking stressed out, and they keep on fucking with them, and I think they pistol whip them, right?
Is it that? No, it's not that one. They get mad because they go to another coffin, and they're like, "You ain't gonna believe this shit."
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it's K.
Crazy K, dude.
And they're very put off, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
One of them is like, "Yo, you ain't gonna." He's like, "Yo, trip out on this shit," and then the other guy's like,
"Oh, we know him" or something.
Yeah,
and Bulldog is like,
"Oh, we've seen him around."
No, that we don't know him. That's just somebody we've seen around.
Yeah, and so Clarence starts telling the story about this guy, Crazy K. And what is that? Is that one still called the original one, or is it? Is there a chapter for that one?
It's called Hardcore Convert. Hardcore Convert.
Hardcore Convert. Crazy K is a killer. He sees this dude and just rolls up on him and shoots him straight up. And you can tell Crazy K is just like a stone cold fucking live wire, like killer.
He's got K shaved into his head.
Into his top
scalp.
of his head. He has these fucking really tight sideburn like horns. You know, he's fucking really high strung. He doesn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know, like straight up. But it shows him run up on this fool and shoot him and kill him. And so the people that he was, the guy was actually going to go to somebody's house or something. And the people come out of the house and they fucking shoot Kay. And we're led to believe that when they shoot Kay, they shoot him in the back. He turns around and the guys are standing over him. And then you see the cops come and they try to run away. And they get shot by the cops. And Kay's like coughing up blood and says, "Oh, fucking saved by the fucking cops." He's all pissed off and shit. And it kind of cuts to him in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like
working out.
Yeah, we're led to believe it's like months later or whatever.
Yeah, we meet this like psychiatrist lady
who is in all white.
She has dreads and everything, but you could tell she's a somebody as well. And basically she wants to recruit Kay for this special government
rehabilitation,
where they're like, if you're able to pass our tests, we'll release you back into society,
as a reformed killer.
And at first he's like, "Fuck you, like that ain't possible. Like, get the fuck out of here." And they're like, "No,
you're the perfect candidate for this." And it was very reminiscent of A Clockwork Orange for sure.
And then so Kay's like, "All right, let's do this." Like no hesitation after that.
Yeah. Once he found out once he passes, he can be a free man, and he's like going to be able to go back to his life out in the streets. He's like, "I'll do anything. Fuck it. Might as well." And so he signs he agrees to it or whatever. And then it shows him being transferred.
Yeah, they say, "We're going to take you into our special, to a special facility,
the Ludovico facility."
And then they put him actually specifically, like on purpose, they put him next to this Aryan Brotherhood.
I was gonna say too, they put him almost completely naked too.
Yeah, well, they transport him with what he's wearing in the first place, because he's working out, he's doing sit-ups when they tell him, "Do you want us to transfer
just in boxers?"
Yeah, he has some white ass boxers, and then they transfer him and they like string him up in the truck, like super weird.
Yeah,
like I don't know if it's because it's like maximum security,
or
something like that.
But it's definitely not like the run-of-the-mill jail shit.
No,
it's like some fucking experimental new age steampunk torture like S&M fetish in a banana hammock.
Yep. So they bring him in and then they put him next to that Aryan brother dude,
and the first thing he says is, "Hey, maybe you can lead my army."
He's like,
"You look like a soldier."
Basically it tells him that he's here to kill African Americans, and that
he says, what did he say? He says, "You must be one badass spade." And he's all like, "What the fuck you said, motherfucker?" And he's all like, "You in here for killing black people. I know it."
Yeah, he's like, "I know you killed people. What color were they?"
They were black.
And then it's like, that right there raises questions. It's like of the vicious circle. You know what I mean? It's like, what separates you from this guy?
He even tells him, like, he's like, I like you a lot. He's like all super subliminal, like,
because he has this philosophical, or